Hey YouTube, in this video I'm going to go through 5 of my favorite stretcher-sizes. Why do I call them stretcher-sizes? Because I think stretching is exercise, and it's very helpful and sometimes very underrated, and a lot of people don't do quite enough of it. The other thing I'm going to recommend you do is get a notepad or a journal or something and keep a diary of your exercises every day. And that helps you to remember what you need to do next, what you've done in the past, what works for you, what didn't quite work the same, what you might want to change. It also helps me plan my exercises. So if I know I have like a 20-minute break throughout the day, I will have looked at my exercises for the last week and go, oh, you know what? I haven't done my pancake stretches for a while, or I haven't done this exercise for a while, or I haven't done push-ups for a week or whatever. And then it just reminds me of what things I need to do, and then I don't waste time trying to figure out what I should be doing. I always have exercises to do. You're never done exercising. You know, exercise is a lifestyle. It shouldn't be something you do a few times a week. You should be doing it all the time, in my opinion, and just build it into your lifestyle, which is why I have taken the time throughout the last 3 years to turn my apartment into a gym of sorts, so I don't have to go to the gym to get a workout. There's always stuff I can do here. I don't have a lot of equipment here, but I have enough that I can have really good workouts. And if it's a bad day outside, it's cold, it's snowing, it's freezing rain or whatever, I don't even have to worry about it. I do like to go to the gym, and when I get to the gym, I try and do all the exercises there that I can't do at home. But yeah, it never stops me from having a fantastic workout. So I hope you enjoy these exercises. If you have any ideas, you know, like, subscribe, and comment, of course. Okay, here we go. So the back arch stretch is one of my favorite warm-ups, and I do it almost every day, and it allows my back to decompress and stretch out. And if you can see the way I do this, I have my 3 folding cushion here on the bottom. Then I have a couch cushion, then I have a couple of throw cushions, and then a small cushion on top. And then I place this rolled towel right here, and I put it right where my back meets the sacrum here, little triangle bone there. And I put it right on top of that, and then I usually get a nice little separation there. So, and I like to do this for about 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Sometimes I do it 3 minutes, sometimes I do it 2 minutes, but usually at least 2 minutes. And then I get myself positioned nicely. I get my feet stretched out so I don't tip over. And then I just stretch back and relax. And sometimes I have to readjust because I like that towel right in the small of my back. And just stretch it out. I let the arms go out as far as they can. And you'll feel all kinds of releases in your back and the stretching and the vertebrae separating. And it feels so good. Plus you get to lay down while you're doing it. And then I'll do these arm pulses as a bonus for my shoulders. Oh. All right, so I'm not going to do the full 3 minutes here, but you get the idea. But you should actually do 2 to 3 minutes of that, and be patient, because the first minute or two, you probably won't get all the releases, and then after a minute or so, your back's going to start to relax and your spine's going to start to relax and release, and you're going to get the full benefit out of it. Okay, so there you go. Now, if this is too many cushions for you, there's nothing wrong with starting right on the floor, or starting with 3 or 4 cushions. Okay. So this is still very beneficial. Okay, just hang out here. And if that's too much for you, then start with one cushion. And it might take you 6 months or a year to get to, you know, where you can do multiple cushions and get your back really flexed out. So let me get this out of the way. Put this here. You know, I used to have a lot of lower back pain and everything, so I really like to stretch out my lower back. Even sitting like this in a kind of like a upright hero's pose and doing some contractions like that, that's really good also. But anyway, so I'll just get down here on my one cushion and my towel, and this might be a great place for you to start. Just getting the neck loosened up, getting your arms, and just getting a nice slight bow in your back. So definitely something you should do regularly. Okay. So another one of my must-have warm-ups every day is the Sissy squat stretch. And I've got a whole other video on all the variations and everything. But if I don't have a lot of time to do all the variations that I like, then I just do this 2 cushion one. However, you might have to start right on the floor because you don't have enough flexibility to do this. And the other thing is if you can't get back, you're afraid, then just take a stack of cushions and put them behind you and start like this and start stretching out your hip flexors like this. And then when that's no problem, you just start going lower like this, stretching out. Then you go down to one cushion, and then you go down to the floor. Okay, so let's get down to the floor. So this is what I do pretty much every day, is as one of my warm-up exercises, is I get my 2 cushions here, and then I just slide back. And even if my knees are off the ground, I know that within a minute or two, I'm gonna get that flexibility through the hip flexors, and they'll be able to touch down, and my shoulders will be able to touch down. So, and then I'll hang out here for 2 minutes. Again, I'm laying down, and I'm doing huge benefit for my body. So I love these kind of warm-ups. Your back and your body is gonna thank you. And I'll just put a timer on my phone and do minimum of 2 minutes, sometimes 3, many times 2.5 minutes. Like that. And then if you can't get out of this position easily, just roll over on your side. I've got to the point where I can just flip my feet out now and then do that, and then I'll roll out to the side. So it's no problem. So hanging is definitely one of my favorite warm-up activities of the day. And I can feel that in the shoulder here, I've got a little knot or something. And I'm hoping that by hanging, I can just get a little click and get rid of that. Now, you don't have to hang with your feet totally off the ground. You can keep your feet on the ground and still get a lot of benefit by, you know, hanging and supporting part of your body weight. But let's see how this goes. I'll keep my feet on the ground and just ease up and let my body oh, there we go. I got a little click in that shoulder, and instead of going to the chiropractor, yeah, I was able to get rid of that little knot there. Okay, so now I'm gonna try and hang with one arm, and I'm gonna keep both feet on the ground like this. Try and stretch out that shoulder a little bit. Okay, and then I'm gonna go the other side. Now, not only is this a great warm-up in the at the start of your day, but you should hang, you know, all day long. Have a pull-up bar in your house or apartment or wherever you are, and hang multiple times a day, even if it's only for 5 seconds. So let's count to 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And your whole back and shoulders are going to thank you. And then once you get a little stronger, you can increase the width of your grip. And this is a little bit tricky for me, but I can do it now, which is great. And even if you do it with your feet on the ground, you're still going to get benefit by trying different widths. So my goal, my record, or whatever you want to call it, my longest hanging is about 1 minute, and I time it to make sure. But if I'm not in the mood to do a minute, I'll do a whole bunch of 5 or 10 second, or even 15 or 20 second hang sessions throughout the day. So strongly recommend. It's going to help your back, it's going to help your shoulders, it's going to help your neck. If you have dizziness, it might help that too. So anyway, hanging is definitely one of the most important things you do for a warm-up and all through the day. So another of my must-have stretches is the couch stretch. And when I started doing this, it was so difficult for me and so painful. But eventually it got a lot easier, and I got a lot more flexible, and I just enjoyed life. And I noticed that this really helped reduce any kind of back problems I used to have, lower back problems. So you just put one foot up here like this, okay? And then you just get up here like this. Now, if this is too hard for you, you might have to just grab a cushion like so, and get here in front of it like this. And you might have to start off like this. Who knows? Okay, and maybe that's the amount of flexibility you have. And then try 2 cushions and 3 cushions. And you know, I don't know your ability, so, but it's called the couch stretch for a reason, because a lot of people can start in this position here like this, with their foot up on the couch, and then stretch out the hip flexor here like this. Okay, and then of course you might want to do, you know, 2 minutes on one side, and then a couple of minutes on the other side, stretching out the hip flexor. Okay, now I've got to the point where I use my triple cushion here. My favorite tool here is my triple cushion. And then I get my towel like this, or I meant to say I get my cushion down there like that. And I come in sideways to this like this. I'm gonna do my left leg here, so I put my left knee close to the cushions. Then I get here, I flip around, and then I get up like this. And what I do now is I do about 3 minutes and 30 seconds. And what I like to do is I like to do 50 pulses here. And then I turn my neck and stretch my whole back over this way, and I do 50 pulses here. And then I slowly come back and I do 50 pulses the other way. And you can feel it pull the hip flexor just a little more to the side. And when I'm done that, I go back to the center and I do another 50 pulses. And for me, that takes about 3 minutes and 30 seconds, give or take. And by the time you're done, you can really feel the hip flexors here stretch right out. And it's a wonderful feeling. And it helps to solve most of the back problems people have. All right, then I'm gonna do the right leg. So now I put my right leg down, my knee, I flip it up, and I do another 3 minutes and 30 seconds here. And you know, if you're thinking, wow, 3 minutes and 30 seconds, that's a long time. Well, you know what? It's not, because what you're doing is improving your quality of life. And you do need to book time out to exercise and stretch out all the muscles in your body. And then you're gonna have a pain-free life, or you're gonna have a lot better opportunity of having a pain-free life. So 50 this way, 50 pulses this way, come back slowly, 50 pulses this way, stretch out that hip flexor. Just slow little gentle pulses. Come back, and lastly 50 pulses this way again. All right, and that's the couch stretch. So another important warm-up exercise that I like to do almost every day is some form of good morning. So whether you do like a Jefferson curl with weights, right? I don't have weights here. Or you can do pancakes, which is a little easier to do, I think. So that's why I use it as my warm-up in the day. And I like to, when I first started pancakes, I like to have my bum off the floor. So 1 or 2 cushions. I think I might have started with 2 cushions. I'm just going to use 1 cushion today, and that gets your hips tilted a little more forward. And then I'll do up to 100 pulses in one direction. So I'll start like this, and I don't have my legs very wide apart. I can go about like that in the morning, okay? I can get a bit wider, but I don't try and push it too much when I'm warming up. And I just start pulsing down like this, and a good 50 to 100 pulses. That's 20. So that's 34, and I can touch my head now. Okay, so that's 50, and I can touch my belly a little bit, and I can touch my head down. So as long as I can get my head to the floor, I feel that's good for my warm-up. And then I like to go to each leg, so I'll usually typically do 60 pulses on each side. That's 20. And that was 34, and I got my head to my knee, or my shin, I guess. And in the morning, that's my goal, is to get my head down to my shin. Then I do the other side, of course. Okay, so it doesn't matter how far you get down. If you get your head down to the floor, you get your head down to just, work on it, and you're always trying to improve your flexibility, because improved flexibility is improved blood flow, improved range of motion, and less pain. So those are the big things. So anyway, those are pancakes, and I love to do those every day. Now, one other little thing is another version of pancakes is to do seated good mornings. And I like to do seated good mornings with some kind of weight, though you don't have to do weighted. You don't have to use weight to get a benefit out of seated good mornings. So this is pretty much the same thing, just a different variation. And get your legs nice and wide apart, and you're trying to get your torso to come through as deep as you can here. And you can just pulse here, and you'll feel it in your lower back, and it's a great feeling. So you could do whatever, 50 to 100 pulses like this. You can also hold a dumbbell of any weight that you want, and you can hold it like this and pulse. You can hold it like this, you can hold it like this. So there's lots of ways you can add some weight to it, which for a lot of people is really going to help you a lot. Get deeper through your legs, okay? I'm at the point now where I like to use a barbell, and this is total only 37.5 pounds, but when I'm at the gym, I like to get up to 70 or 80 pounds. But for a warm-up, I find about, well, this is 37.5 pounds. I find it's a perfect amount for a nice, relaxed warm-up. And the first two, I won't go very deep. First few, I should say. And then as I warm up, and I'm already warmed up because I did the pancakes on the floor there earlier. And I'll do up to 16 reps like this, getting my torso as deep through my legs as I can. Okay, so there you go. Seated good mornings or pancakes on the floor. Really two of my favorite warm-ups. Okay, so as I mentioned at the start of this video in my comments that I like to keep a diary, and one of the things I realized as I was putting this video together is I haven't done my elephant walks in a while, and I especially haven't done them raised up at all. So I'm up here on two boards that are about 5/8 inches plus the mats, so I'm close to 2 inches above the ground, which isn't a lot, but when you're leaning over and stretching, for some people it's going to be a whole lot. So I'm going to start out and I'm going to do 40 double leg pulses to start with. So sometimes people, when they start, to bend right over is difficult or awkward or not comfortable. So bend your knees, get your hands down as far as you can go. You know, for some people, you might have to have a cushion. You might be up on 3 cushions like this to start and get going. I used to do that, and now I can pretty much start on the floor. And here I'm raised up a bit. So here we go. I'm going to do 40 pulses. $39 and 40. So that was 40 reps. And now I'm going to do 40 pulses where I just try and stretch down. And I'll put my hands out in front of me so I don't tip over like this. And I just try and pulse and fold my body as close to my legs as I can get them. Now, when I'm not doing a video, a lot of times I'll do up to 100 of these, and I find those last,
20 or 30 pulses when I get to 80, 90, 100. Allow me to get my head really close to my knees and stretch out my back. But for the sake of the video, I'm not going to do 100. Okay, so now I'll do single leg pulses, and I'm going to do 40 in total. And there's 40. And so now I'm going to do pulses, and I'm going to lock my left leg straight, and I'm going to put my hands over to the left side, and I'm going to do 40 pulses. And now I'm going to lock my right leg. I'm going to switch my hands over to the right side, and I'll do 40 pulses on this side. And 40. And now, just for a bonus, I'm going to do 20 more pulses, double leg down the center here. And there we go. Raised elephant walks.
And they're absolutely awesome. You should be doing them regularly. So I hope you enjoyed that bonus exercise, and you guys take care. That's it.